Well, it can be, because suffering, when the entity is no longer alive, suffering, the memory of it disappears, so it hasn't been suffering.
Yeah, but what about the loved ones of the beings?
Well, they in time will disappear, therefore there's no suffering.
So basically you're saying that if it's not permanent, it doesn't matter.
In talking about the deities, when there's no memory of anything, when mankind doesn't exist, when people don't exist, they never have existed, because there's no memory of them having existed.
So what?
Well, that's just a logical position.
No, but think about it. You seem to be implying that suffering doesn't matter.
No, I didn't say that. No, I made the position.
But that's the implication. You may not have said it, but that's the implication.
This is the implication you read into it. The situation is, if there is no memory of something, if there's no knowledge of something, then that doesn't exist. Now, if there was a time mankind has no knowledge of a lot that is now known to science. If we must have knowledge for something to exist, the epistemology must precede the ontology.
Why is this relevant to what I'm saying?
Well, you were talking about suffering.
Yes.
And I said there is no suffering if there's no memory of suffering.
Well, I think that's ludicrous. Basically, what you're saying is...
Well, no, it's
nonsense.
Please.
Think about it.
No.
Just think about it for a moment. Look, what you're saying is... Well, let's suppose, right, that Rob was suffering. He has some horrible disease, and I can give him a pill to get rid of his disease, right? What you seem to be saying is, well, millions of years from now, no one will know whether I gave him that pill or not. Therefore, it makes no difference whether I give him the pill. It clearly does make a difference, because although in millions of years, no one will know whether I gave him the pill, he knows now that he's suffering. His loved ones know that he's suffering, and therefore he's suffering, and it matters. The fact that millions of years from now no one will remember, I think is utterly, completely irrelevant.
As I said, it's a logical point, a logical fallacy you're falling into. When there's no memory of something, that thing hasn't occurred. So when mankind doesn't exist, suffering hasn't occurred. It's that. Now, when somebody is not alive, can they have any memory of once being alive?
No.
It's the same as if they were never born. In effect, there is no life.
No, that's where you're wrong.
There's no memory unless there is God. Are you religious?
No.
So if you believe that, you're religious. That's your religious.
I'm not religious.
Okay.
I don't believe.
Now, this gentleman who is religious believes there will be knowledge of God once people are dead.
No, but you're making an error. The error of your argument is this. Okay, you're saying that it's the same as if he didn't exist when he dies. Okay, now it's true that at that point in time, it's the same. But there's all this time before then where it's not the same. And that time matters.
That will all be forgotten. Mankind individually
will be forgotten. So what?
I'm not asking that question. It'll be forgotten.
But you are. But you're.
So what we have is.
What's your point?
So what we have, you appreciate the point. You appreciate the logical rigour of what I'm saying.
No, there's no logical rigour.
Let's go back to the logical rigour.
There's no logical rigour.
Okay, let's address this. When somebody is not alive, can they have any memory of having been alive? Therefore, you're conceding the logical rigour.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No, let me try and explain why I'm not.
No, you're now self-contradiction.
No, I'm not.
If somebody is not alive, they can have memories, experience of what it was to be alive.
Okay.
But by definition, life and death are disparate.
Can I explain why there's no contradiction? Okay. The reason that there's no contradiction is, I agree with you, after they die, they are not going to know what happened during their life. Concede that point completely.
So the suffering disappears?
No. Okay.
They have no memory of it.
Okay.
Hang on. You're contradicting yourself again.
Let me finish. If you let me finish, I'll explain why I'm not.
Please.
Okay. All right. The reason there's no contradiction is because the suffering does not disappear from reality. It was there. Okay.
What is it that was there?
Their suffering experience.
It's a subjective experience. We agree on that. Yeah. It's subjective. So therefore, if that entity no longer exists, so to have that subjective experience or memory of it, therefore the suffering disappears.
Okay, but it doesn't disappear from reality. Okay, reality? It may not be. Hang on. Okay. You're missing the point.
Again, self-contradiction.
No. Look, let me finish.
Define reality.
Everything that exists.
Okay, it exists within the mind. It's what we have knowledge. It's subjective. What's called there's a false disparity, the dichotomy between objective and subjective. Objective is where people agree on something. We call it objective. So in that experience is subjective. That's what it is. What is there outside subjective experience? We can't know, because by definition, it is subjective.
Well,
unless you're religious, unless you're religious, and something is inserted into one subjectivity.
But what? Okay, but that makes no difference.
Intellectually, your position is actually conducive
Can I
of the religious outlook.
Can I respond without interruption? Okay. The point you're implying that because eventually we will die and our experience of the world will be over, that suffering didn't matter when we were alive. But that suffering does matter when we're alive. It matters to us. The fact that it will end makes absolutely no difference. Okay? You're suffering now or tomorrow or yesterday. That suffering is real. The fact that it won't be experienced by you after you die is totally, completely irrelevant to the point.
We therefore define experience. You must have memory of something. An experience must be remembered for it to have occurred. If you have no memory, a sleeping man, can you speak to a man who is sleeping? Can you ask him who he is?
Okay, you're missing the point.
No, that is exactly the point.
It isn't the point. This is the point.
No, what you're saying is the consequences, if that was to be prevalent, the consequences of that approach on society, that's something different. That's
No, it's the same.
It is not.
If you understand the point, which you clearly don't, right? The point that I'm making...
I don't know what point you're making. Could you elucidate it?
Okay, so you don't know the point I'm making, but yet you've come into the conversation.
Because you have failed to make a coherent point.
But you haven't let me make the point.
No, your argument has failed, and you're repeating your argument.
Okay. You didn't even know what the original point was, do you?
I heard you talk of suffering.
Right, and what was the point?
The point you were making, that how do you reconcile suffering with a good God? That question has existed for centuries, for millennia. But I made the point, one doesn't hear of it much when there is no memory, therefore there is no suffering.
Right, but the suffering existed at the time that there was memory. Agreed? Do you agree with that?
All of our
yes or no? Do you agree with that?
All of our subjective experience is remembered. We do not live in the immediate moment. Animals live in the immediate moment. Animals don't have language. We have language with abstraction.
Sorry, hang on. You're saying that animals only live in the moment and we live...
They have cued response to the stimuli around them. Animals don't have minds. They don't have language.
That's bullshit.
They do not have abstraction.
That's total bullshit.
Okay. Can you name me an animal which is an atheist?
Every animal's an atheist. They don't believe in God as far as we know. Okay. Hang on. This is a ridiculous point. Let me try and explain why this is a ridiculous point.
Your argument.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
No. Think about it. Think about it for a moment. You're trying to infer whether animals have minds about whether they're atheists or not. But that's not how we find out whether animals have minds. There are a lot of tests. If you look at the scientific literature on what's called theory of mind, you can see that a lot of evidence that animals have minds. Okay. Not only do they have minds, but they also have what's called mental time travel. It's called mental time travel.
No, they have what we might call experience consciousness.
They have memories.
Therefore,
they also have
memories. They
memories.
have cued responses to the environment. Like a very small child doesn't have a mind, has a cued response to the environment.
No, you're wrong again.
The purpose of survival.
Wrong again.
Now, what are the abstractions? Mind is defined by abstraction. The concept of mind itself is an abstraction. Now define.
Did you read the recent study about bees that showed that they understand the concept of zero? Did you read that study? Okay. Did you read the study? Did you read the? Okay. Did you read the study?
Doesn't mean it's true.
Okay, but you haven't even looked into it. You haven't looked into it. You're basically saying that animals don't have minds, but you haven't even read the literature that claims that they do, and the experiments that show that they do.
Sir, I did ask you, when you said animals have minds, I asked you, are any of them atheists? That was my response. Are they? they? Are they or not?
Depends how you define atheist.
Have a mind. He's a Christian, you're not. Are there believers in God and atheists among the
What's that got to do with them having a mind?
Because that's an activity of the mind.
Yeah, but there are other activities of the mind. That is only one activity of the mind. I could ask people.
How do you know?
I could ask people.
You contradict yourself.
Okay, no. I could ask people.
Sir,
what's your
how
opinion?
do you know animals aren't atheists, aren't Muslims, aren't Buddhists? How do you know?
Well, there's no evidence that they are.
Well, you say they have a mind. We have minds.
Yes.
People have religious.
Yes.
Believe in
But we don't see them doing any activities that would associate.
Okay, therefore, what you're therefore stating is that animals could be Muslim, they could be Buddhist, they could be Hindu, and they could be pagans. That's what you're saying. Because you do not know. So it's
have you got any evidence that they are?
Sir, I'm asking you.
Have you got any evidence that they are?
I'm developing what passes as an argument. Therefore, if they have mind, they might be religious.
They might have religious beliefs, but we have no evidence that they do. Right? Unless you want to show me some, anything might be true. We could be living in the Matrix. This could all be a dream. Anything might be true. Show me some evidence that it is true.
I'm asking for the evidence that they might be religious.
But I haven't claimed that they're religious.
They're not religious.
Okay, but you also said that they don't have minds, and that is a pile of bullshit. Now let me respond to your point. Let me respond to
abstraction.
Are you going
to have mind? Because you need memory.
Okay.
What is an event?
Okay. Can I respond?
Well,
if you're gonna, okay. All right. Let me respond. Okay, you've said that animals need language to have minds.
I didn't say that.
That is what you just said.
No. Man is not an animal.
Rewind the tape. I want to hear what you said.
No, carrot. Man.
Live audience, rewind the tape, check that this guy said, because you did just say that you need language to have a mind. That's what you said.
Man, which is my subjective experience.
Okay.
Man.
Well, how do you explain the fact that
I
there are people?
I then asked you said animals may be Muslim. That's what you said, or maybe Buddhist, or maybe pagan. I think that is preposterous. Then we went into defining that. Now,
I never said that.
You agreed to.
Okay, I said
it will see that when you rewind it.
I said
the internet will hear you say.
Okay, I said I don't know their beliefs. Okay,
their beliefs.
They might have beliefs about a deity. It's possible.
So animals, some will have
animals do have beliefs.
So some
will accept that.
Some will have anti-beliefs. So some will be atheist, agnostic, or whatsoever.
They may have no beliefs about God of any kind. We have no evidence that they have any beliefs about God. Okay, but we do have evidence that they have beliefs.
More self-contradiction. If you have no evidence, why are you saying they might? What's the premise about argument?
If you think no evidence is the same, no. You don't even understand what a logical contradiction is.
I'm saying categorically, a pigeon a crocodile is not a pagan. A flea is not a worshipper of whatever sort. No, I'm saying categorically.
You're saying categorically an animal has no belief or no belief in God?
Belief systems.
Okay, what do you mean by belief system? So can an animal have a belief about something? No.
And I exclude man.
Right, that is the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever heard. So you don't think that an animal has... Okay, now let's think about this.
Are you trolling or are you serious?
I'm serious.
Right, okay. Are you familiar with the experiment about...
Move a bit that way, because this guy's yelling here. So just slowly.
Okay.
Just a little bit over there.
Okay. Are you familiar with experiments on dolphin metacognition? No. Okay, let me try and explain to you this.
No. When you say try to explain, that's our problem is if there's a difficulty to explain. Now, I haven't used it.
It's a simple statement. If you can't let me make a simple statement,
intellectual integrity, please.
By saying try to explain.
I'll try to explain.
Okay.
Because cognition.
Okay, I'm not having it.
Speaking my faith. This is Jesus speaking my faith.
This is a waste of time. I'm trying to say try and explain, and he's like, I'm making an ad hominem for saying try to explain. Then that's just a troll. That's not someone that really wants to make a serious argument.